In the field of positive psychology, there is the concept of mental strengths and their associated weaknesses. When you think about it, we all have characteristics that are accepted by our communities and societies as values or strengths. These can be empathy, curiosity, integrity, community, security, persistence, and bravery. But rather than think of the flip sides of these values or strengths as weaknesses, I want you to conceptualize them as vulnerabilities. Let's broadly define vulnerability. When you have a vulnerability, you are exposed somehow, maybe physically, financially, or emotionally, or all three. In this course, vulnerability means being at risk of being used by a high-conflict person to get their needs met. Thinking back to the 6 high-conflict personality types of narcissism, borderline, paranoid, histrionic, obsessive-compulsive, and antisocial, vulnerability means being at risk of being treated as less than, of ping-ponging between love and hate, of losing your privacy, of falling in love with a mirage, of getting lost in someone else's process, and of being harmed physically, emotionally, or financially, all because of your values. And values are, by their nature, good things. In addition, vulnerability means being susceptible to staying in the high conflict cycle while you figure out if you can trust your perceptions of the relationship. If you've been to therapy before, and maybe even if you haven't, you've probably heard that it's important to be vulnerable in important relationships, which means sharing intimate information about your hopes, dreams, fears, experiences, and plans. That kind of vulnerability helps promote connection and intimacy and supports 2 people growing closer. Well, 2 reasonable people. In high conflict relationships, though, being vulnerable can mean giving the other person all the information they need in order to keep you engaged in the unhealthy relationship patterns or the high conflict cycle. Your values are what attract people to you, even high conflict people, or, as I said in Module 1, especially high conflict people. So let's learn how to get those amazing values working for you the way they should, so they can help you get free from the high conflict relationships that are causing so much turmoil, rather than keeping you stuck in them.